What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Inside ACW. Today I am joined by a very special guest, the Perfect 10, ProJohnny. What's going on, ProJohnny?
Well, good. With yourself, good sir?
I'm not too bad, It's a freezing cold Sunday, but hey, that's October for you. Of course, guys, we're going to jump right into this, of course. I've got a series of questions here for Johnny, and I'm really excited to hear his thoughts on ACW, of course, guys. We're going to start off with, Johnny, what are your thoughts on last night's pay-per-view? Of course, last night, Hellbound. You had the best night of your life last night. Of course, winning every single prediction and both defending the Hardcore Championship and winning the Inmate title. What are your thoughts last night, Johnny?
Very exciting, as always.
Oh, it's very. How do you think Owen did in the Hardcore match?
Hardcore match. Well, when it came down to it, he did need help from Alex Striker, but in the end, you can sort of see who came out on top on that.
Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. A lot of people didn't think he was going to survive it. I'm very proud that he did. I thought it was a really great job he pulled off. Do you think he's going to hold on to that belt for a while?
At first, I didn't.
You didn't think he's going to win it?
I think is he going to win it? Hopefully. Be quite a good feat for him if he could hold on for quite some time, because I know a whole load of people are going to be gunning for him now.
Oh, 100%. Especially when you got two belts around your waist. You are the biggest target in the business. So I really look forward to what Owen's going to do.
Going for a third.
Going for a third. That's right, of course, guys. On Tuesday night, of course, depending when this goes up, Owen has officially cashed in for a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity against the World Heavyweight Champion, of course, the Beast from the East, Dante. But he's not going to be alone. There are 5 men in that match, ladies and gentlemen. And Johnny, what do you think Owen's chances are now that these other stars are in this match?
It went from a 50-50 to I have no idea what's going to happen now.
You really think Owen had a 50-50 chance against Dante?
Yeah.
You're crazy.
I did. I had great faith in him.
Well, I like that.
Saying that, in fairness, he held the Hardcore and then won the Inmate title, even while attacked from everyone else. So
that is very true.
I just see that. I just see both of those combined into Dante.
But see, again, I do agree. He did defend the Hardcore Championship, of course, against some top competition, including myself in that Battle Royale. Again, we don't want to talk about that fiasco of going flying over the top. Thanks, Striker and Owen, double teaming me. But hey, it's all a night's work, But like you said, he was in there with a caliber of quite some top stars, of course. Kai KM really on the rise now. Striker's been around a long time. But Owen, as you say, he definitely did hold his own last night. I was very, very proud of him. But now let's talk about the Inmate title ladder match. That was something a little bit different. Definitely out of his depth a little bit, I thought.
Yeah. As soon as I saw Ozzy do that ladder finisher on the top, I lost faith. I thought he wasn't going to win.
I thought it was over right there as well. I thought Ozzy's got this. This is Ozzy's night.
But Ozzy decided, oh, I don't need that. I just want to target him.
Yeah, what was with that? Ozzy last night, again, his last opportunity at the Inmate Championship, and he was more focused on hurting people than he was the Inmate title. I think that's his biggest downfall, personally.
I think he had the mindset of, if no one can get up that ladder, he can win. It just backfired on him.
Definitely did, especially, guys. If anyone didn't see the finish, of course, Owen and Ozzy at the top of the ladder, Marcus Payne right beneath them. Owen throws Ozzy off the ladder, landing on Payne, giving him all the time in the world to pull down that championship, and he did. Absolutely phenomenal victory last night. Nobody can say he didn't earn that. He definitely...
I was so happy, I nearly smacked my head off my light.
God damn. You heard it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Johnny ecstatic for Owen. Of course, next I want to ask you, how did you discover ACW?
I discovered ACW 2 years ago, so it would have been just when it was starting. It was sort of, I was watching you for a bit and you just started it, and I was sort of at the time not an overly big fan of WWE, but sort of liked it, and you sort of got me back into it.
Awesome. Actually, I've had a few people say that to me at this point. Like, they weren't really into WWE anymore, and like, hey, this guy, I like this guy. He's okay. Oh, he's doing something different. I might take a look at this. Oh, this is fun. But a few people said it to me already, and that's brilliant. It's nice to think that I've brought people back into the fold of wrestling. Even if it's not just WWE, but in wrestling in general. I think that's an awesome, awesome thing. So, Johnny, with that, now you've been around, as you said, about 2 years now with ACW. You've been around since the very beginning. How much do you think has changed since you joined ACW?
Quite a lot. It has changed quite a lot, from being very not creative to the hellbound that we had yesterday being absolutely madness.
It was madness. That main event was crazy last night. I still can't get my head around what happened. I definitely agree. A lot has changed. Like, we've got, what, multiple generations of stars now? It's absolutely crazy. But luckily, again, I love all these transitions that are flowing through here today. This is actually going really, really well. With that transition of different generations. Johnny, the biggest generation for you, of course, so far has been Gen 1. You were put through the ringer in Gen 1, of course, where you had yourself the perfect 10, the ProJohnny. What are your thoughts on his career?
From his career being ProJohnny to Princess Johnny to shitting on the stage entrance Johnny to...
There's so many memories.
To the perfect Johnny, to the Shield Johnny. It was just an absolute amazing roller coaster of emotions. Going from him, from basically from the grind up to seeing how he's just developed and everything was unbelievable, and seeing him being put into the Hall of Fame at the very end was worth it.
Oh, 100%. Now, you mentioned something that I really want to talk about here real quick. You mentioned a name that we actually gave you right at the beginning. Now, if anyone doesn't know this, guys, when Johnny first joined ACW, he was not the perfect 10. He was not the man you know today. He was known as Princess Johnny. Johnny, do you remember why you were called that?
If I remember correctly, it was for my female character actually being... We couldn't think of a good name for her, so we went for Princess Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
So we just trolled around. Everybody just trolled around with me, calling, when Johnny came on stage, Princess Johnny!
That was like one of the best moments. It was one of the best moments I ever had at ACW. I always love that as well. You know, we get people like yourself that you don't take it too seriously and you don't mind a little bit of joking around. And when you used to come out, I remember I used to call it going, ladies and gentlemen, up next, it's Princess Johnny! And everybody would just jump on it. And it was one of those moments of, I'm so glad I've got someone here that doesn't take this too seriously and doesn't get offended by it. You know, because it was all a good laugh. It was a good joke at the time, and I really enjoyed that.
Aye.
Of course, next up we did have, moving on from Princess Johnny, of course, you battled Daddy K&M. Of course, first, you guys were tag team partners. What were your thoughts on your tag team together?
We were a good balance of strength and speed, so we were, and against most opponents, we were able to overwhelm them quite quickly with either my strength or K&M's speed.
Oh,
but
yes.
I think when it went all downhill is when Nathan Henderson had joined. That is just where it started to go downhill for us too.
Wasn't it Jacob Henderson that joined you? That's right. Yeah, it was Jacob Henderson that joined you guys.
Jacob.
Yeah, it was his father. Because Nathan's part Gen 2. Yeah. That's right. I remember. I actually forgot that Jacob Henderson joined you guys. And it did start to go downhill a lot. That you guys lost the tag team titles immediately. Thanks to you were out on an injury for a week. And Jacob came in and himself and K&M immediately lost the titles. Remember, you were not happy about that one bit. But of course, transition that now. I want to talk about the rivalry between you and Daddy K&M. Of course, that being a triple threat match. I can't. Was it Jack Dynamite? That's right. Jack Dynamite debuted in a First Blood match for the Inmate Championship against you, Daddy K&M. And that match, of course, it haunts a lot of people. Because instead of a regular triple threat match, K&M gunned for you and you alone. He beat the living hell out of you. What the hell were your thoughts on that?
My thoughts were either he wants to show that he is the top dog, or either he's just got hit in the head too hard from one of those moves. And as we saw with the rivalry going on, we could sort of see that, no, he wanted to show that he was the top dog against me and him. First starting off the Inmate title with the First Blood, him just targeting me, the odd time going after Destroyer, but mainly targeting me, to what ended off with a 20-minute Iron Man match.
Oh, that was brutal.
Unbelievable.
That was one of the most brutal Iron Man matches I think we've ever had. We've had a lot of brutal matches, but that to me was one of the most personal and brutal matches we've ever seen. But do you ever hold any animosity towards K&M for the actions that he did?
No, I do not. Because I could sort of see why he wanted to show off that he was the top dog. So I could, I could tell that he was a wee bit annoyed with Jacob Henderson joining our team and then screwing everything, thinking that, oh, I just didn't do a good enough job in that. So I can see why he did all of that.
Oh, of course. Like, me personally, if that was me, I'd be like, I'm going to get you someday. I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. But luckily, you guys have put it all in the past, and that is great to see. Are you guys still good friends backstage?
Yeah.
That's always great to hear.
We trade tips, get drinks on again, and everything's A-okay.
Just got to let the past go and just get hammered together. That's how you do it, guys. Yeah. That's how you do it. But of course, now we move on to one of the greatest moments, I'd say definitely in your career, was the formation of the Shield. How did that come about?
After the Iron Man match being hit, well, DDT'd straight onto the Sledgehammer probably didn't help with that. So I think that scrambled me a wee bit, and I decided this is the time to show everyone who really is the top dog.
Mm-hmm.
Time to show how threatening Johnny can really be. With the run-ins with Sorrow and Dean Crawford and even myself sort of took the foothold quite quickly, and then as soon as everything had settled, showing off that we were the Shield sort of ticked everything off.
Oh, definitely. You guys absolutely made an impact. The very first day, of course, I remember you returning in this brand new battle gear, this whole new Johnny, and just blitzed the ring immediately, attacking everybody in sight. You guys were over not just one person. You didn't just go after K&M, for example. You went after everybody. It was brilliant to watch. Now, of course, you guys then won the tag team titles extremely quickly. You guys did not hesitate. How many times did you guys win? I think it was 3 times you guys were tag team champions, weren't you?
3.
Mm-hmm. Phenomenal action. Again, a very short run for you guys. But of course, that leads perfectly into that massive, massive match at End of Days 3. Of course, Shield versus Evolution. Talk me through that one.
Shield versus Evolution. Oh, no. Just starting off with me and Dive going head to head. Then the first elimination was, I want to say, Ben plays with it. So it was, Evolution side was Ben plays, Human Phoenix, also known as Punisher, and Dive on the Egghead.
The Egghead.
And on the Shield side was ProJohnny, Dean Crawford, and Sorrow. The mix of both teams being well balanced, it was more or less see who could last the longest, was sort of the great, sort of very adrenaline taking.
Oh, definitely adrenaline fueled. Very, very much adrenaline fueled. Like, that was one of the best matches of End of Days 3. Like, there was a lot of great matches on that pay-per-view, and I think the Shield vs. Evolution absolutely stole the show that night. Of course, do you remember the winner?
It was the Shield.
I was thinking the Shield won it.
Final. It was with me and Phoenix just on the outside. Right. I just absolutely destroyed him on the outside, threw him in, pinned him. That was it.
I still remember Dive going absolutely crazy watching that match. And he was just losing it. Screaming at Phoenix, going, "Kill him, do something!" And he just couldn't. He couldn't withstand the perfect 10. It was absolutely phenomenal. Such a great, great match. But of course, with that being Gen 1, you were then introduced into the Hall of Fame. You said earlier on that made you feel really good. How did it feel to, go through everything you went through in your career and end with the Hall of Fame?
You can't put it into words of how it felt. It was something unbelievable, something that you knew that you had to earn, and as soon as you seen it, it was worth every ounce. It was like flying to the moon and just sitting there, staring back.
That's a really nice way to put it.
Unbelievable.
I did that. But of course, that leads us now into what happens next. Of course, that was the end of Gen 1 at End of Days 3. We then brought in brand new talent, the whole next generation of talent in ACW. Of course, now we're going to talk about Owen and Isabella. First up, what are your thoughts on Isabella? I know you've always had a sweet spot for Isabella over her career so far. What are your thoughts on her, how she's doing, and what do you think her future is in ACW?
She's doing really well right now with the tag teams and working well with Alexandra.
Mm-hmm.
With their two mix, it works really well together. And just seeing them wouldn't really destroy, wouldn't be the right word, but hand the Twisted Sisters, just everything they own, just taking it from them.
That was so good.
Showing them you can beat the best. Well, you could beat the best no longer.
No longer. This is my position now. Like, if you look at last night, when you say about the tag team titles between the Alexandra and Isabella, they are amazing. I don't think anyone's stopping those two. I really enjoyed how they both just... Oh, definitely not. But the way they destroyed Lorna Gray last night on their own, of course, getting in Sloane's head, that was brilliant. But now, when it comes down to Alexandra and Isabella, do you think that's going to last a long time, or do you feel like Isabella's going to go after Alexandra soon?
Personally, I think with how it's going, it should last for a long time, because I don't think that Isabella's looking to go for the women's inmate anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
I've now said that something's going to happen.
Oh, I'm not saying anything. quick note here for next
Well,
week.
no, you're not gonna, but just wait and see what happens.
Isabella has had a great run so far, and I can't wait to see what she's going to do. Do you think she's going to win a lot of titles, or do you think she's going to stay in the tag team division for the majority of her career? What do you think?
Well, I think she's taken after Johnny was staying in tag teams for now, with everything that's going on.
Oh, here's a good question for you, Johnny. Do you think Isabella would ever form a female Shield? It's never been done before.
And go up against a female evolution.
Oh, damn, that could be...
It would really be interesting to see all of that happening. But I think with the foothold she has right now with Alexandra, I don't see a third person joining anytime soon.
Well, there you go, guys. Of course, you heard it from ProJohnny there. If you ever do see a female Shield, you're guaranteed to face a female Evolution, and Johnny was the curator of that match. So if you don't like it, blame Johnny. But of course,
we always know that the females do like to put on a better show than the men, so...
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Of course, that transitions nicely into Owen. Now, this is a very new star to ACW. Of course, Owen has been absolutely on the rise. Lost his debut match to Damien Inler, of course, also debuting. But Owen, ever since that loss, has just been absolutely phenomenal. What are your thoughts on Owen's career so far and his future?
He will be going places like Johnny. Yeah, I think he's trying to represent Johnny's youth in that way, where he wants to do the stuff that Johnny couldn't do, like hold all of the time. Only time will tell to see what happens.
Oh, definitely.
With that heavyweight championship.
Oh, of course. I wish him the best of luck this Monday. Sorry, this Tuesday.
Yeah.
That's going to be crazy. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Do you think he's ever going to go for a tag team run? Like, if he's going to hold all the belts, he might have to. But if he did go for a tag team run, who would he be in a tag team with you?
Who I would honestly probably either say Phoenix or...
What about Kai? Would you ever reignite the old perfect K&M legacy?
I would like to do that again, so it would. It would be very, well, emotional for both me and K&M to see our prodigies work together again.
I think that would be pretty sweet.
Like we did.
That could be interesting. Do you think now, of course, I know you've been saying a lot that Owen is going to go for every single championship. What do you really feel like his odds are guaranteed? Do you think he's definitely going to pull it off? He's going to hold every single championship at the same time. Now, no one's ever done that. And we've got some amazing talent in the past. What makes him different to everybody else that he is going to be one to pull that off?
What makes him different? He would probably be the egotistical person to turn around and say, he is the one that stands at the top, even though he doesn't. But
not yet.
He would personally, I think, what makes him stand out is for the fact of he doesn't copy any of the elders, should I say.
He definitely is unique.
He is sort of unique. I think with that uniqueness, with everyone sort of trying to outdo themselves, sort of held them back. But with Owen's uniqueness, I think it's going to take him to that next level.
Oh, look, that sounds awesome. You know, I definitely look forward to see what he's going to do. As I say, he's definitely a very unique star. And I do wish him the best this week. Of course, the Inmate Championship, ladies and gentlemen, also on the line. The big test for Owen. He's already defended the Hardcore Championship. Now he's got to defend the Inmate Championship on Tuesday and still go on and win the World Heavyweight Championship. It's not looking good for him with the odds, but it's going to be one hell of a show, to say the least. And if he pulls that off, I guarantee you right now, Johnny, he's going to make a believer out of me. Because all he's got to do then is win the tag team titles off DX. So, you know, good luck there. But if he gets a good teammate, you know, I think he could do this faster than anyone could ever perceived. So best of luck to him.
Yeah.
Of course, next up, Johnny, what was your favorite rivalry in ACW today? Now, it could be some of your own or potentially someone else. Who was your favorite rivalry?
My favorite out of them all would have had to be, now we're going right back to the beginning with this, it would be the Psychotic one and Soda Pop.
Oh, wow, that's an old one.
That is.
That's going way back.
Them two at each other's throat enough every other night. Mm-hmm. It was something to look forward to each ACW.
Oh, absolutely, of course. And how did it... I remember it ending, I think, was the roll-up. I rolled him up for the 3 count after brutal matches, and he just went, that's it, I'm done. He just quit ACW.
Yeah.
It was such a shame, because that was definitely one of the greatest rivalries that I think has ever been. It's one of those underrated rivalries. A lot of people kind of went, they're There's a lot of great rivalries, but that was definitely one of those hidden gems. I'm glad you actually remember that one, Johnny. That's something a lot of people maybe didn't get a chance to see.
Yeah, I actually think it started up with Soda Pop rolling you up.
Yes, it did. It did. He rolled me up for the 3 count, and it was what you can do, I can do better kind of thing. It started off as a very simple just contest amongst friends,
Yeah,
and turned into something so bitter, so quickly. Oh, I actually felt bad by the end of it, but
it was brilliant.
It's business, man. It's business. Of course, Johnny, as well, we have the big pay-per-view coming up in, I believe, a month's time. Of course, that is the Soul Survivor pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, the Royal Rumble for ACW. Of course, we have the men's and the women's. And what I want to do to every guest here is I want to get their predictions on who they think is going to win the women's and the men's. Johnny, what are your predictions for the women?
Women's, I think that whoever comes sort of in the middle will have a good chance of winning. So I would probably say, either between, these are my top 3 that I would see winning.
Mm-hmm.
Either Alexandra, Isabella, or Rosa.
Ooh.
Would be my top 3.
Rosa, really? She has been nice. She is that kind of star that does that thing, isn't she?
Yeah. So just sort of like, oh, look at me, I'm so good, loses a couple of rounds, and then all of a sudden comes back and wins.
Yeah, wins something big. It's crazy what she does. That's interesting. So Rosa, Isabella, and Alexandra for ProJohnny, ladies and gentlemen. They're his predictions for the Soul Survivor Women's Rumble. But what about the men's? That's a big one.
Men's, Kai, K&M,
oh yes,
Phoenix, and Dante would probably be.
Ooh, that's one that scares me, to be honest. Is Dante in the Rumble? Oh man, if he comes out anywhere near the end of that match, he's a surefire, guaranteed win in that Rumble match.
Unless someone gets lucky though, as soon as he gets in, get him out.
I think we've seen that. I think it was the second Soul Survivor pay-per-view. I remember it was Abyss. People tried that with him. I think about 15 people tried to eliminate him, and he still went on to win the damn thing. That was phenomenal. Absolutely incredible match. But of course,
brilliant one.
Of course, Johnny, what are your thoughts now on the future of ACW?
Future of ACW. If it keeps on going down the line that it is going, it's going to be an amazing show. But if it takes it the wrong turn, I can see it going down a loophole of just constantly getting worse and worse.
Is there anything you'd like to see in ACW?
That I would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, the way it's going now, it's a nice sort of constant way show. So it's not something that, it keeps on getting sort of, I can outdo this and this. It's sort of like, if it outdoes it, it's a good outdo. But then the next show can be absolute shit.
Yeah, so there's a nice flow to it at the moment, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to see shows like Carnage or Warzone brought back, or do you think it's best to stick with Asylum?
Just stick with Asylum, because with Warzone and all of those side ones, it split the roster in a weird way where
it did.
Like if it did well, the other one did really bad. But if the other one did well, that one did really shit. It's just like it wasn't a good mix-up, so it wasn't.
Yeah, I always found the same thing. I found like, as you just perfectly said it, if one show did well, the other one was terrible. You know, it never found its own balance, which is a bit of a shame, but you never know. One day, maybe we can figure that balance out, but it'll be a long time before we do. But of course, Johnny, I'm going to wrap things up here, buddy. Thank you so much, ProJohnny, for joining me today for Inside ACW and all your amazing thoughts. I really, really enjoyed having you on, Johnny. Thank you so much.
It has been a pleasure, good sir, so it has.
Would you do it again, Johnny?
Hell yes.
That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it right here. As always, mates, stay crazy, stay psychotic, and of course, catch ACW live on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday, 9 p.m. GMT. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for listening to this one, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.